Hello, my name is Rick, and welcome to episode 2 of my Sunless Sea Zubmariner videos. In the last episode, my captain built a boat, rowed a will, read the newspaper, played with his ferret, and sailed for about 3 seconds to the nearest island. In this episode, my captain's going to paint his house and then watch it dry. No, I think I can do slightly better than that this time. We will explore the world a little, meet a bunch of strange people, and hire some of them. I've been to the real London, and it's an amazing place. You could spend several lifetimes there and not see everything there is to see. I'm not going to do voices in this playthrough, because I'd forget, and it wouldn't be consistent, with a couple of exceptions. A few of the characters, I kind of hear a certain voice in my head when I read them, and I don't think I can stop myself from doing them. There are plenty of female characters in the story, and for obvious reasons. It would be hard for me to do their voices. I will simply act as your faithful narrator, reporting on what's happening in the story. However, knowing me, I'm probably going to shift to a higher register of my voice, subconsciously sometimes, when doing that. A lot of what happens in the game, you only get one chance at to record. There's no going back. I'm just letting you know what to expect in my playthrough. Speaking of which, I should talk just briefly about the mechanics of the game. The currency of the game is echoes. Most things are bought and sold in terms of echoes. Apparently when London was brought below the earth, pounds became echoes. As the ship sails, it burns fuel and uses up supplies, but also gains terror. It turns out sailing around a dark, scary ocean filled with monsters slowly drives the captain and its crew insane. If terror gets too high, the crew mutinies and you probably lose the game. As you might expect, ships have a certain amount of hull points. Bigger or more armored ships have more of them. If you run out of them, your ship sinks and your captain dies. Bigger ships have more crew. Your last crew member is your captain. If you lose that, you are dead. There are 5 main stats in the game: pages, iron, mirrors, veils, and hearts. Pages is about wisdom and learning. Having high pages helps you get all the other stats faster. It's the hardest stat to boost. Iron is a measure of how tough you are, how much damage you can do. Mirrors is about finding targets at sea or perceiving things. Veils is about hiding at sea or deceiving others. The skill of subtlety or evasion. Hearts. The in-game description is inspire, heal, defend, whatever that means. There are all kinds of treasures in this game other than money, including kinds of stories, such as recent news, Z stories, or tales of distant shores. These are stories, but they can function as a kind of currency in that you need them to unlock events, or use one up to go to certain cities. In our last episode, we had just arrived at the island of Hunter's Keep. Now back to our story. Hunter's Keep, a hump of dark rock swathed in mist, like 100 other Unterseed islands. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist, like 100 other Untersea islands. But here's a grand house, windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. You have a couple different options. I could present myself at the house, walk in the gardens, reconnoiter the island, plunging cliffs, soft green lawns, a well tucked away in a fold of the grounds. Anything else? Yeah, I'll do that first. The sea's silence. Ships rarely come here. Nothing changes, even the weather. The house is the heart of the isle, the house and the sisters. But the Admiralty may be happy to know that nothing's changed, at least. I think I'm going to spy on the house. It's a modest challenge, but I have a 66% chance of success. 3 sisters. You peer through a half-open French window into a grand parlor. Grand in size, if a little reduced in style by dust and neglect. The dark-haired, pale-skinned young woman bends earnestly over a piano keyboard. Another, fair-haired but unmistakably her sister, sprawls on the sofa with a book. A third sits by the fireplace, staring sorrowfully into the embers. A log pops, and the woman by the fire gives a violent start. You cannot restrain a start of your own, and her eyes meet yours through the glass. She claps her hand to her mouth in shock. There's nothing to do but step apologetically into the room. A visitor, the pianist, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles. The eldest, who you frightened, sighs. Excuse us, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. The cheerful one is Lucy. You are in good time for lunch. Will you join us? Failed in the challenge. Try again and you may have better luck. No, that's not possible. Not sure why you're telling me that. You are acquainted with the sisters of Hunter's Keep. I'm not going to spend my news on them right now. I'll talk to them some other time. I need to pay attention to what I'm charting because I would prefer to chart lots of stuff thoroughly to increase my pages, and because I have a plan for that. I really like the music in this game. I may have to do a playthrough where I just let the music play and turn it up in places just because it's so good. Wow, this engine is fast. We're not going to burn through the supplies very quickly, but we'll burn through the fuel. I'm driving in a somewhat crazy manner to try to reveal more of the map. I'm sure you're wondering what I was doing there. Here goes Horniman's Stag. Discovered Tanachuk. There's an island going by to our right, and there's a port to our left. Now coming up on Venderbight. You've brought this decaying emigrant north. Now what? Days of shrooms and roses. The new tomb colonist surveys Venderbight, shaking her head. It won't do, she says. It won't do at all. Well, what do you want? I had no idea this place would be quite so unprepossessing. Perhaps we can liven it up a little yet. If only I knew a helpful Z, Captain. Bring 10 units of mushroom wine to Venderbight, and perhaps they'll have something for you. A mission to bring wine to Venderbight. You have lost one tomb colonist. The tomb colony of Venderbight. On deck, you can hear the sound that 1,000 bandaged dead make as they shuffle and cough. You can do a couple different things, some of which are locked. Visit the first curator. Z captains. The first curator gives audience. The first curator is responsible for the preservation of the tomb colonies. It has been here much longer than London, like all the oldest tomb colonists. But even tomb colonists dissolve in the end. Its time is close. Oh, sounds like a good time. More accurately, sounds like a way to unlock some of the easiest, earliest missions that pay off very well in monetary rewards and in stat boosts and things like that. No more light, the obsequious steward cautions you. The curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door, and you step into near darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzz in the latticed ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandaged shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts its head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Listen to a whispered request. Z, Captain, Silkskin, not much left of me. I will go into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colors, 7 colors, pay well. I know, I'm just being silly. Give me a break. 7 colors, Cosmogone, Irigo, Pelican, Steward has list. Find them here and there, across the wide Black Sea. Ask about the Grand Sanatorium. One hears the name whispered here and there in the arcades of Enderbite. Oh, Silkskin, you don't want to know. Chuckling becomes a cough. We don't die here below, not unless we go to Z, so we needed something else, somewhere to end. You're right. I'm sorry I asked. I didn't need to know that. Accept the commission. Thank you. This poor flesh thirsts for colors. No more words. It collapses, rustling back on the couch. Even the effort of speaking seems to have diminished it a little. The audience is over. As the door opens, it shrinks from the finger of light that reaches across the floor. Outside, the obsequious steward nods. The book? Yes, the book. He hands you a slim, illustrated volume. The curator is old as dust. We will all be grateful if you do it this one last favor. You now have one of this, the Neath Bow. You are looking for Apocean, Cosmogone, Gant, Irigo, Pelican, Violent, and Virich. What more can we do? Let's explore Venderbite. Here they favor candlelight over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still long enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. A corkscrewed street. At the twisty tip of an odd little side street, welcoming yellow light glows from the gilt-glittering windows of a restaurant. The sign reads, Vengeance of Jonah, in all caps, big all caps letters. A beefy tomb colonist bustles up. A gray mustache pokes impertinently out from under his bandages. Come in, come in. Bandaged poissonnier at Venderbite seeks passage with the Z captain sympathetic to intrepid cuisine. It's a cramped little place, but much better lit than most places in the tomb colonies. The scents of the dishes are multitudinous and extraordinary. Are they good? They might be. They might be good. It's difficult to tell. What can I do? I can't sample today's special. I can recruit the bandaged poissonnier. The bandaged poissonnier has long wished to travel, but you'll need to outfit the galley to his exacting standards. This will recruit him as a cook. How much? 300 echo? Oh, it's a lot of money. We're going to do it anyways. We want him. I'm surprised we met him this fast. Avid enthusiasm. Ah, my captain. The things we will catch, that we will consume, that we will experience. We will discover the 7th sensation, you and I. The taste that one tastes with the heart. You there, sailor, careful with the brazen alembic. It's worth more than your wretched soul. You now have 1 bandaged poissonnier and you've lost 300 echo. New total, 5,000. We're doing okay. There's only one thing left to do, gather gossip. Who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? Along the coasts of the Untersee, it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. You now have a port report. Fantastic. We did more than I expected. Should I sell the recent news for $10? I'm gonna do it. And we're out of here. You know what? Let's explore the coast and then come back down a slightly different way. I'm going to check the chart quite a bit. If we illuminate one spot, I kind of want to move on. I'm trying to gather all the pages without missing any. Pages is the most important stat in the game because it's the method by which all the other stats are raised, basically. This is like one of those mini games where one stat is clearly way more important than the other, and also the hardest and rarest to get. Why do I not see this on the chart? It's clearly right there. That's better. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I do want to get a lot of it because you get something out of it. Also, when I have a Zubmarine, oh look, it's a lifeberg. I don't really feel like fighting that, so I won't. Oh look, it's a bat swarm. I don't really feel like fighting that. Doesn't seem to be bothering me. And another lifeberg, wow. We blew through half our fuel already. Whither, behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch, white and silent as the face of the moon. Behind the great arch over the bay, the pale wastes stretch. From here you might almost imagine they were snow. North of the city, the salt pools fizz with unlikely color. Explore the town. Gather intelligence, shore leaving Wither, which we can't do. Explore the town. Wither is a quiet, chilly town of gray stone and closed courtyards. The people are neither exactly unfriendly nor exactly hospitable. They have the irritating habit of answering a question with a question. Here and there are odd sights tucked away. Who will try? Who will buy? A street vendor turns skewers on a grill. The mixed scents are nothing like anything sold in London. I could try the grilled troglodyte prawns. I could try something mysterious, which is a tyrant's treat, with a 30% chance of success, which is pretty unlikely. Or the shredded jellyfish. It's not to everyone's taste. 61% chance of success? Good enough for me. Jellyfish, the food of queens. Traces of its venom still remain. Just enough to make your tongue tingle and alter your consciousness a touch. Your pulse accelerates and odd thoughts sparkle in the forefront of your mind. You succeeded in the Hearts Challenge. You gained 10 fragments. You've lost 5 hunger. Fantastic. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, or subscribe. If you came here from Reddit, upvotes really help. It's a small thing that makes a big difference for my channel. If you enjoy this content and really want to help, tell a friend. Anyone who likes video games or audiobooks might like this. Thanks for watching.